Hi everyone, thank you so much for stopping here to watch our video. We don't take your support for granted. We appreciate all of your support. Please make sure you watch this video till the end, and without any further ado, please let's go to our main topic today. So we are going to talk about William Samoei Ruto. He is a man of interest because he has been in the seat for the last 10 years, and now we expect him to become the leader of Kenya in come August 9th, if he is really going to be given all the votes that he needs to win that seat. So there are so many things that have been said about William Samoei Ruto, both good and bad. And the good ones are many, the bad ones are also many. But one of the most striking bad things that has been said about William Samoei Ruto is the issue of anger. That is our focus of discussion today. So there was an audio that was played in one of the campaign trails by Junet, and it was about William Samoei Ruto apparently wanting to slap Uhuru Kenyatta in 2017 because the Supreme Court cancelled the elections and Uhuru wanted to retire apparently, but that was not what William Samoei Ruto wanted. So he almost slapped him so that they could go back to the campaign trail. It's funny even to even talk about it. And they went back to the campaign trail, campaigned, and now they have won. And when they came back to power, apparently they cannot work together. So now, one thing that Ruto did not do, he did not deny that he actually almost slapped Uhuru. Instead, he made it look like it was an innocent act. Here in Glass Hill in Shatta, we don't support violence of any form. But what Ruto did was wrong. He accepted that and took responsibility of it, explained himself. Apparently, people resonated with it because in Africa somehow we have excuse for bad behavior. We accept violence because that was what we grew up knowing. We could be subjected to violence at home, in school. In that form of punishment that we used to call punishment was not really punishment, it was violence. In schools, in church, even along the streets, if you looked at somebody badly, if that person was bigger than you, older than you, they will always insist, oh, I'm older than you, you should accept my bad behavior. That is what most of the people say. And that's what people call respect in most African country settings. Bad behavior that is not supposed to even happen. So people resonated with it. Then Wamalwa came out another time in another campaign and he was saying, oh, even William Samoei Ruto almost slapped him and he almost slapped Matiang'i. Then what even made us now believe there could really be a problem with William Samoei Ruto, and the anger we are seeing in him could be, we are hearing people talk about, could be a sign of an underlying issue. And let's put politics aside, feelings aside, let's discuss the issue. Last week, William Samoei Ruto went to a campaign in Vihiga, and there was one common mwananchi. Apparently, maybe the guy said something that was not pleasant. And then William Samoei Ruto reprimanded him. He asked him, who the hell, why are you answering me? Who the hell do you think you are? Surely that statement alone should tell you of someone that can actually be, can lose temper. Let me say that. Because apparently, to be honest, and for any wise leader, he didn't even need to answer that guy. And his campaign team should have been the one that was actually handling the situation. If there was anyone among the people there that was in the process of like causing commotion in the campaign, there could have been somebody that was handling that. For him to lose that temper showed a lot. Even that intimidative voice and that intimidative tone says a lot about this man called William Samoei Ruto. We don't know how he behaves in private, but what we gather from public, especially from that particular event, is very key. And it is a red flag. You know, when I look at Kenya, I liken it to a family where we have one person in charge of the family, and then there are other people that are allocated responsibility. So we are one large family with a leader that is sitting on top, and that leader must be tolerant. The leader must be somebody that can listen to all voices, negative and positive. If you have walked around and looked at homes where men, and let me say men because men are the ones that lead families, where men are intolerant, that family lacks progress, that family lacks peace, it lacks love, it lacks concern, it lacks everything good that comes with peace. And good leadership is key. If you have seen families where a man is always an angry person and subjects all the other people in the family to anger and emotions, everybody inside that family is an angry person. Everybody in that family is a traumatized person. So we cannot have a person sitting at the top seat of the country that cannot control their own temper. And I'm not here to decampaigning. I'm here to enlighten every one of you, because I know that when we have a lot of problems, especially now, the energy prices are so high, food is high, prices are high, there are no jobs, there's no money, people are suffering. I do have an understanding of the fact that we can be in that kind of vulnerable situation where we cannot make the right decisions. And because I've been in that level, I have been in that situation where you are not in a position to make a judgment, a clear judgment, simply because you are at a vulnerable state. And when you are at that vulnerable state, anything that anyone says, whether that person is a good person or not, can actually resonate with whatever you want. So you can be in that state feeling so desperate. So any leader that comes out and that seems to say something that makes you look awful, you don't even have the opportunity or the time to think critically whether this is the right person or not. In short, what am I saying? I'm saying that when you are making your decision to elect a leader, whether it is William Samoei Ruto, Raila Amolo Odinga, or whoever, think critically about that person. We do not want to have cases tomorrow where we have leaders that cannot work with other people, because they have lost their temper apparently. And when people are like that lose their temper, they have control issues, they can just like cage everyone and lead alone. We don't want that. In Kenya, we fought for this democracy for so long. Then, another thing that I want to say is that apparently we as people create very serious and emotional connections with our leaders that are necessary. And we have a problem of trying to create boundaries when we need them. We don't know how to say, no, I cannot support this person because of ABCD. We've already created emotional connections because of the situations and our levels of frustration and trauma that has been created by our political leaders, not just in Kenya, but entire Africa, as they subject us to manipulation every campaign season, as they subject us to narcissistic type of politics where they speak ill of each other, and then we lose it at the end of the day. So we need to be very careful. We need to really elect our leaders in anger. And we are going to come up with more videos of this to educate people, because it is important for people to know that the situation in which you are at the moment can actually make you not to make the right decision. Please click the subscribe button below and keep watching us. Click the notification button so when we upload this kind of video, you can also get more of this. And make sure, please, if you have not subscribed, that you remember to click the subscribe button and leave us your comments. What do you think? Do you think this man called William Samoei Ruto has anger issue? Do you think he can actually rule the country? Do you think he can actually tomorrow come out and we will hear news of, oh, probably he wanted to slap the president of Somalia, Uganda, or Burundi, or do you think he can lose temper to that extent? Because probably I'm the one who is looking at it and I'm seeing something different from what any other person would see. It's not always all about the politics. It's also always about us looking at things and analyzing critically. One thing I've learned in this life is never to take anything anyone says for granted. It's always to sit down, think about critically, and make sure that when you're making that decision about that person, it is not out of emotions, or you are not being intimidated to make that decision. Because at the end of the day, any decision you make out of intimidation will cause pain and suffering. Thank you and bye-bye.